Oh, what's good, G Life? It's your boy MC Shadow back at you with another video. Don't forget to hit the subscribe, the like. It's free. It don't cost anything. You'll help my channel get into the algorithm. I would highly appreciate it. Don't forget to check out the playlist on top where my videos in their own folders makes the video you're looking for a lot easier. Whether it's just reactions, the G series, all that. Don't forget to check out my second channel, Man in Society, M.O.D, where we talk about stuff outside of the streets. What is the day after Thanksgiving? We hangover then a motherfucker. So to God, it felt like I just closed my eyes and my alarm started ringing. Had to come to work. Like, motherfucker, man. Wanted to break my phone already. I was going to give it a DDT. But hey, Bill, got to pay the bills, my boy. Got to do what we got to do. Even though, we like dying right now. Nah, but what I wanted to get into was something that one of my subscribers, wanted me to talk about. Hookah Man. Gracias for the Cash App, my boy. I appreciate that. So, got to comply, with what the subscribers want. You know what I mean? Homie shot the fed, so here to talk about it. Normally I wasn't gonna do a video because I'm like, oh man, my head was just bumping, but homie shot me some cash apps, so they gotta come through. Now, about the little kelpy issue, right? That hey, why do I think a lot of these people are hating on him? Why they trying to smut him up? Why they hating on the young hustler? Is it jealousy or what is it? Now I could only speak on how I see things and how I'm gonna call it. You know the saying "real recognize real." Okay, well that's a real saying. Now, I know people will be like, "That's bullshit," and that can't really happen. So let me break down what real recognize real means. Real recognize real means when you grow up in the streets, right? I know for people that are not from the streets, it's hard for them to understand this, so I'm gonna break it down. When you're from the streets, right? There's a way how you carry yourself, right? Because you're really out here in the streets, right? With real goons and real guys that do real things, right? So you got to carry yourself a certain way, and you learn as you're there, and mingling in the environment. You learn, how to carry yourself. What to say. What not to say. You get the overall, schooling, just by there and soaking it all up. But you have to be there. See, there's a difference from watching it on TV, right? There's a difference from watching somebody rob a bank, like when you're watching a movie or a real life actual in the news. There's people robbing the bank, right? You watching it is different from you actually being there. You get what I mean? Because when you're actually there, you understand the consequences that could happen. When you're watching it, of course you could say, "Oh, why didn't they just, grab the gun, or why didn't they do this, or why didn't they do that?" You know how they're always giving these things of what they should have done or what they could have done and this and that. See, it's easy to say that when you're watching it, but when you're actually there and dealing with all the emotions and what could actually really happen and stuff like that, it's a whole lot different. You get what I mean? Same with the streets, bro. Like, learning about the streets is different than actually really being there and dealing with all those emotions, right? What could really happen to you? You could really get hurt, losing your life. There's consequences to this. You know what I mean? There's consequences if you don't walk that line. You know what I mean? And you will be punished, including by your own homeboys. If you act out a character, they will bring it to you, bro. Regulations, beat downs, or you just see homies getting down. It happens all the time. Homie feels offended, and they throw blows, and then they drink a beer after, bro. It happens all the time. So when you're actually in the streets, you learn, how to carry yourself, right? Because you're with these individuals every single day, and if you get out of line or something like that, what could potentially happen and stuff like that. So you have a way of how to carry yourself, right? And it's that survival mode that you're stuck in for so long that builds up your persona of how to carry yourself, right? Because you're used to being around these kind of individuals that now, anytime you go anywhere, that's just who you are and how you behave. Even though like people are like, hey, just relax, like mellow out, like there's, you don't got to be keeping through chat right here. It's all good. And it's like, but since you're so used to being stuck in that survival mode when you're on the block or in the streets and stuff like that, you just can't help it, to look around and see what's happening. So real recognize real. That's what it means. You could tell when somebody's really from the streets, right? And when somebody's really involved in the overall in the madness, compared to someone who just reads it online and is really not from the streets. Because to be all honest with you, when it comes to their overall breakdown of little kelpy, whether it's these bloggers or Almighty Suspect or whatever, I mean they're not wrong. I could tell that that kid is not from the streets, bro. I could tell he's not from the streets, bro. I could tell he's never been in no action and no funk. I could tell, bro. And I know you've been watching people saying that they could tell, nah, they're just hating. Look, there's no reason for me to come and hate on the guy. This is not for clout. This is not for whatever. You ask for my opinion, I'm here to give it to you. I never lie, never bullshit, and I never hate on nobody. I only come and tell it straight up how it is. The kid is not from the streets, bro. You know what I mean? Like I said, just his overall demeanor. I'm not hating on him. Look, and check this out. And another thing, just because he's not from the streets, I'm not calling him a coward or a pussy or a bitch. I'm not saying none of that. You know what I mean? That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is just that he's not from the streets and he's trying to portray that he's from the streets, but in by no way insulting his manhood or his capability. You know what I mean? I'm just saying that I could tell that he's not from the streets, bro, and this is all an act because that's what it is. And other people see that too. That's why he gets a hard time by these individuals because they could tell. Because when you're from the streets, you can tell, bro. When somebody's just faking the funk, trying to portray themselves like something that they're not. It's like, and see what people don't understand is that when they talk about the street life or the gangster life, they think that battles are all hard, scared to smile, and all these whatever. In the gangster world, bro, people are just themselves. People are just themselves, bro. You know what I mean? They don't try to add all this extra to it like all these imitators do. In this world, people are just themselves. That's why when people have been watching these YouTubers, right, who are from the streets, like Dubs, American Cholo, Hater World, or any other, people are like, damn, these fools are cool, or they're funny, or damn, I didn't know gangsters like this, or I didn't know gangsters were into that, or I didn't know fools were like this and like that and like this and like that. Like, yeah, I know, because you guys all thought they were a certain way. They never smile, never talk, and stand stiff, and mad dog the whole world with lokes, and like, bro, stop watching movies. Too many movies. See, in movies, they have to portray them that way because they don't have time to go into their backstories and stuff like that. So they just have to make them. They try to make them look intimidating. That way, the audience knows, that these people mean business. But in reality, that's not how homies are. Homies are just themselves. So when fools come in and they try to fit the gimmick, people can smell it, bro. They can smell it. We can all tell. That's why when somebody comes in and like perpetrating whatever, we all look at each other because we can tell, bro. Like when I was watching the video with my homies, like when the video first went on, they glanced at me and I glanced at them because I knew they were gonna glance at me, and I was like, yeah, I know, bro. Because they off the bat, bro, they knew, and they hadn't seen the video or nothing, but they off the bat knew what was gonna happen and knew that this guy wasn't about the funk, bro. Like they were looking at me like, what the hell are you showing me? Like this fool from the streets, like, yeah, I know, without even saying a goddamn word, bro, because we can tell, because of the overall the conversation, how it went, his overall demeanor, his posture, all of that, bro. We're just able to tell, bro, that this guy's he's not from the streets, bro. And that's no, I don't mean to hate on the guy. I'm not trying to hate, bro. I could only be honest. So when people are being like, "Oh, these fools are just hating," nah, bro, they're giving you their honest opinion, bro. You know what I mean? Normally, yeah, there is fools that do hate on other people, and I would say, yeah, that's hating. Like, come on now. I have said it right here before, but bro, right here, and in this case, nah, he's not from the streets, bro. It's not because he's white. It's not because he's young. It has nothing to do with none of that. Because there's white young fools that are out there doing real things, and they don't carry themselves like this guy. They're not like him. And that's the honest truth, bro. Because like I said, when you're actually in that environment and you knowing that you could now potentially get hurt or this shit is real, right? And you have to now adapt to this environment and this culture and stuff like that, you end up building this kind of persona to you and how to carry yourself. And with other people, you can tell that they just watched it on the internet or in a movie or some shit like that. They're trying to perpetrate it. They think that they fed themselves all that knowledge, right? Like they know everything that a gangster or a pimp is. You know what I mean? They feed themselves all this, and they think they know them now. They have it in the bag to now imitate this or try to lie that they're this. But the one thing that they lack is that the actual experience. And when you lack the actual experience, you won't really have the actual game down. You know, you can try to replicate it, but it's never going to be authentic because of the lack of actually experience. You know, in it. It's different from learning how to drive a race car, watching videos to actually now physically driving a race car. Um, the experience of it. And that's what people could see and why people lack it, because, to them, it's like them watching it, they know they can't physically get hurt or none of this. So, they go out there so loosely and then shit like this happens where they get socked up and stuff like that. Because they didn't know no better compared to if they were really out there in the streets, then they would already know what was gonna go down. They would already be able to read the tension and stuff like that. But clearly he wasn't able to do none of that because he's not really from the streets, bro. He doesn't see it happen, and he doesn't see fools get beat down, and he doesn't see none of that. And if you're supposed to be if you're a pimp, you're supposed to be protecting these girls, from this and that, and be able to handle business. And clearly you can't handle it. So why would they put their trust in you to defend them and shit like that? Or to know that you're actually gonna do or be about it. So I just really don't see. I don't see it. you know, um, because that's just a cold-hearted truth, bro. You know what I mean? You can't fake. You can't fake the gimmick, bro. You can't fake this. You can't fake this. You can put on the costume. You can fake the lingo, but you can't fake the heart. You know what I'm saying? Um, and like I said, you don't want a part of the streets anyway. Stay in school. That's a lot better. You know what I mean? This life is full of bullshit. You're either gonna end up dead or busted. You get nothing out of the streets. It's not cool. It's none of that, bro. Stay in school. Get real money the legit way. Be intelligent. Ain't nothing cool about this life. Ain't nothing down about it. Don't make you with it. None of that. You know, you're just lost. And don't get lost in the madness. You know, you know, there's nothing wrong with being a regular day civilian and getting your paper. That's not boring or whack or lame. At the end of the day, homies look up to people like that and want to end up being like that. Legit, hardworking individuals. So it's not the other way around. So get it together, baby. Get it together. But overall, yeah, I think he's just a kid just trying to, having a personality crisis, you know what I mean? Just trying to fit in, trying to be cool, trying to get that fame means that much to him because, he feels like uh he's, irrelevant in the world. So, you know what I mean? He just wants attention. But overall, that's just my opinion on the overall get down of this individual or what they're saying or how they feel and why they're saying what they're saying. But that's overall my opinion, you know what I mean? On what I think and how I see it. This is no shots at him or nothing like that. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, like I said, and the other thing is that if you're really from the streets and stuff like that, then you don't ever got to speak for yourself to defend yourself. Your street credit will speak for itself. People will already know you from the streets and already know what the business is. The names travel, bro. So people will know what's up. If you're really from the streets, people from the streets will really know what's up. Like, all right, yeah, okay, this guy, like they'll be able to get in contact to plug in to know, like to verify if you really, So I mean, when you don't really have no one to verify for you or the street credit to speak for you, I mean, then, I mean, like the only one that could really defend yourself apparently is you, like, and it's like that's kind of weird, that nobody knows who you are and stuff like that. But I mean, if you're really from the streets, bro, I mean, that's just my overall, opinion on it. Because I mean, you don't have to defend yourself. You know what the street credit is like, bro. You can just go and ask about me. You know what I mean? But see, I mean, homie really doesn't have nobody, could vouch for him. Um, it's just what it is. Not that people are hating on him. I mean, separating the real from the fake, bro. That's all it is. People can't be mad when they separate the real from the fake and they call people out on the wolf. I mean, like, well, bro, they're just telling you the truth. You can't be mad at the truth, bro. Be mad at the lie. I'm just saying, Shadow, we out.